Hello, sweet team. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele, and I am back with another recipe. Yes, these are the kontomere that we got from my Cece's garden, aka elephant ears, and I couldn't cook it that same day, so this is the next day. I kept it in water so that it does not shrivel or die, and I like to spray it with some vinegar, and then I'll wash it thoroughly and set it aside. Then to a pot, add in your choice of meat. To that, I'll add some all-purpose seasoning, chopped red onions, salt to taste, and we'll be adding one spice blend cube. Give it a good stir and allow it to cook in its own juices. And we are back to check on our meat. It has been cooking in its own juices for a while, so I'll add in some water and I'll allow this cook until the meat is to my preferred tenderness. Our meat have cooked beautifully. It is halfway cooked because I don't want it to be too soft. We will continue the cooking process in the stew. Then in the same pot, I'll add in some palm oil. To that, some sliced onions and a piece of our homemade longshala. Okay, I'll leave the link to that video for you to check out. And then we'll allow the momoni to melt beautifully into our oil, which will add an amazing flavor to our stew. At this point, I'll add in one spice blend cube and also our homemade tomato sauce. I also went ahead to add in some grounded chili peppers. I'll give everything a good stir, cover and allow it to cook for about 10 minutes. And we are back. Our stew is looking good. I decided to add in some wele, and since we didn't steam it together with the rest of the protein, I'll add it now. I also added some shrimp powder. I'll give it a good stir, cover it up, and allow it to cook for an additional 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and cut the kontomere. Now, where I'm from, this is a very delicious vegetable that we so much love. Yesterday in the video that I shared of us harvesting these, people thought it was flowers, others said it was poisonous, so I encourage you to do your research before using this. Now back to check on our stew. It has cooked down beautifully. As you can see, it has a lot of oil on top of it, meaning our stew is almost ready. So I'm going to add in some baked mackerel and then our meat, and I'll allow it simmer for about 8 minutes. And just like that, our stew is ready. But before adding in the kontomere, I'm going to set part of it aside because at times my youngest son do not care for green leafy vegetable stew. So I always do this just in case he's not in the mood. And then I'll add in our kontomere, stir everything together and allow it to cook until it is well done. While that is going on, we're going to go ahead and prep our agushi. So I add it into a bowl. To that, I'll add enough water and I'll stir until it is well combined. I'm also going to go ahead and grate in some onion to give it a very beautiful flavor. I'll stir everything together and I'll set it aside to swell beautifully. While that is going on, we would be pairing this delicious stew with some yams. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the yam and put it into water while I have some hot water going. Once the water is nice and hot, we're going to go ahead and transfer the yam into the water and we'll cook it until it is nice and tender. And we always like to add some eggs as well. Then in a heated pan, we'll add in some palm oil. To that, our nicely swelled up agushi we're going to pour this right into the oil and we will cook it until it is well done. If you do not cook your agushi well, you're gonna have a running stomach. How would you know your agushi is ready? It'll go from this nice and creamy texture to a overcooked scrambled eggs, okay? And I season it with a bit of salt to taste because you want your agushi to taste good. So I will continue to cook this or scramble it until it is well done. Our stew by now is also ready. We'll add in our agushi, stir everything together, allow it simmer for about 5 minutes, and we would be ready to enjoy. 5 minutes later, this is what our palava sauce, agushi stew, kontomere stew, or egusi soup, whichever way you want to call it, it is ready. All that is left is for us to serve and enjoy. Yes, this was super delicious. The fresh kontomere, oh, so delicious. We also enjoyed it with some rice, by the way. Sis, thank you so much for allowing me be the first to enjoy the fruits of your labor. I am so proud of you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and are inspired to try the recipe. If you do, share some pictures with me on Instagram and I will be so happy to share it on my story. Until I see you in the next one, stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke onamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all.